So, have you noticed a lot of the classic EV FUD is back from years and years and years ago? FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that people want to spread who have an interest in doing so. Now they're saying, classic things like range. They don't have enough range. People. I've been driving an electric vehicle now for more than 5 years. Do I have one of the longest range electric vehicles they make? No. I don't have the 400 mile, 500 mile version. I've got the 300 mile version. And it's way more than enough for any amount of driving any normal person would do in a day. No question about it. For road trips, supercharging makes it easy. I mean, millions of people have been using an EV as their only car for years now. And they're going to say the range isn't enough. They're saying it's a fraud. They're lying. Just basically trying to confuse people who don't understand how EVs work. If you have any understanding of EVs, you know that the range, the battery is not in miles, right? You can't say like, okay, it's going to be a 300 mile battery and exactly 300 miles are going to come out. The battery stores a certain amount of electricity. And, depending on how I drive and other factors, the amount of electricity consumed is going to vary quite a lot. If I drive really fast, it's going to use a lot more power and I'll get less range. If I drive really slow, I could even get more range than what the EPA rating says. Let's see, is this open? Looks like it might be open. Okay, good. So if I drive slow, I could get even more range than the EPA range. If I drive fast, I'll get less. If the weather's good, then I could get more range. If it's really cold and really hot, then obviously the heating and cooling systems are going to use some power as well. If you're towing, these are all things that can affect how much range you're actually going to get. If you're traveling at highway speeds, you're going to get less range than if you're doing city driving and you're regenerating through stop and go. So these are pretty basic things. They apply to ICE cars too. ICE cars don't always get a fixed amount of range. It varies depending on all of these factors as well. But, the media wants to sort of confuse you, make you think, oh, there's some big fraud and you're going to be, your life's going to be ruined. When the reality is for most people, they're actually going to save time switching to an EV. They're not going to be wasting time charging. They're actually going to save time. Because instead of having to go to the gas station every day, they're just going to be able to charge at home overnight. They're almost never going to drive more miles than their battery has in it. And they'll just go home every night and they'll charge. And you got a full tank every morning. No more I'm late and I'm out of gas and now I got to run and stop at the gas station. No. You just plug in and you're good to go. Okay, looks like we got someone trying to take a picture here. Kind of an awkward situation, and there's this truck trying to pass, so that was pretty good how it handled that. And then, the other one is EVs catch fire. Well, EVs catch fire 10 times less than gas cars per mile. Gasoline is explosive. Do people not realize this? The C in internal combustion engine, it stands for, combustion, which means explosion, right? Gasoline is exploding, that's how the car's moving. It's very flammable. Batteries don't tend to explode. They have these sort of thermal runaway issues where maybe if the battery gets destroyed in a bad crash or something like that, you could have a short circuit and that could cause heat and that could start a fire. And it happens much less likely, but when it does happen, it can be difficult to put out, because you can put it out, and if the short circuit's still going, you can still have that heat and the fire starts up again. So fire departments often need training, some special foam and equipment to really be able to handle it properly. Some kids biking around here, causing a lot of hesitation. So again, the media and interested parties are lying to people, making them think that, oh, you're going to have your car catch on fire and probably burn down your house and it's going to explode and kill you. When the reality is, there's actually less fire chance, and it's actually much safer. It happens much less likely than a gas car, much less often. But, you know, people don't know that. And instead they're told the opposite. Why? Take me to the Walt Disney Family Museum. Why? Because there's a lot of people who are upset that EVs are catching on. That's why we're hearing this classic FUD come back. I mean, we heard the same things in 2018, 2019, and millions of people bought electric vehicles anyway and are happy with them. Their house didn't burn down. They didn't regret that they didn't have enough range. For the vast majority of people, it's just better in every way. But now you're hearing this stuff come back because EVs are so popular, because they're taking the market by storm, because they're 20% of the market in California, and 35% of new car sales now in China. They're now a large part of the market in many European countries. And a lot of people are upset about how fast this is progressing. The legacy automakers, they can't make EVs profitably. As a matter of fact, they're losing money hand over fist in EVs. So they would love if this transition got delayed a little bit. It would really help their bottom line if consumers didn't demand EVs so quickly at a time when they don't know how to make them profitably. Then there's the unions. The unions have decided they're against electric vehicles. Shouldn't they be excited about building the products of the future? Doesn't that really secure the future for workers? You would think so, but that's not how they think about it. The way they think about it is that EVs are going to reduce the amount of labor needed to build a car, and so we're going to make less money. And so they're against EVs. The oil industry, obviously against EVs. Many other parties, for one reason or another, auto dealers, we could make a long list. They're against this transition. Short sellers, people who are betting against the EV stocks. And so you're seeing all these people get together and spread this bullshit, for lack of a better word. Act like these stories are legitimate, like we haven't heard this nonsense time and time again. Okay, going very slow because of these cyclists here. I really want to just go around, but whatever. We'll just crawl along here. Aren't too many other cars, so we're not really blocking too much traffic. This is kind of an odd situation, though. If I was that person, I'd be kind of creeped out about this car following me super slowly. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so they're spreading all of this bullshit because EVs are catching on. And for people who've been around, it's like, really? You're bringing this stuff up again? Range? Batteries catching on fire? As if this is really what the experience is, instead of just a car that's much better, cheaper to run. higher tech and more modern in every way. I mean, there's a tsunami coming for the auto industry and so many participants in it. Already with EVs, they're struggling. They can't make EVs profitably. Tesla's eating into their share. They're outselling the Toyota RAV4 in the United States now. They're outselling the Toyota Corolla worldwide. It's a crazy situation. And this is just based on electrification. Just based on all the benefits of a fast, clean, fuel efficient, cheap to run electric car. They're not even looking at the benefits of autonomy yet. And, you know, we've been seeing the software just casually navigate a pretty insane situation. This thing is trending to be able to drive better than a human, to not require any input in a much shorter time span than people realize. What we have today is already incredible. And as this technology... Okay. That guy was like on the other side of the road and it's like freaking out about him. Kind of strange. But, anyway, what I was saying is, as the technology is perfected, as it does less of that kind of stuff, you're going to see a situation where people don't want to buy any car that doesn't have this. And if you thought electrification was bad, I mean, this is going to hit the industry like a tsunami. And so there's a lot of apprehension. There's a lot of people spending millions of dollars to try and smear the idea of putting AI in our cars too. But, you know, all I can do is laugh, because at the end of the day, they can't stop what's happening. They can't stop the fact that millions and millions of people are getting into their first electric vehicle. And they're getting in and finding that it's better than their gas-powered vehicle in every way. And that all the bullshit they heard about, oh, the range is bad, and the battery's gonna catch on fire, and it's made by slave labor, and it's actually pollutes more than a gas car, all that bullshit, they'll buy it and realize it's not true. And even if it is, it doesn't matter, because the experience of using the product is just so incredible. I mean, who else makes a product like this? You know, if you buy a Tesla right now, you can get 3 free months of full self-driving. And if you get a Model S or Model X, they'll give you free unlimited supercharging. So you can get free FSD for 3 months. The car will drive itself under your supervision. And you can also just drive unlimited amount all across the country, take road trips at no cost. Isn't that crazy? Take me to Apple Chestnut Street. This way. So you can drive all across the country as much as you want for free. I could drive LA to New York and back. I could be a nomad. Doesn't matter. Unlimited free supercharging. And with FSD, it just makes it easy. You just say, take me here. And it'll just take you wherever you want. I could say, take me to Florida. And it'll drive me there. I've actually done that before, when I sold my car. So it's a great deal. And then they have this Tesla electric deal in Texas. You can get unlimited overnight charging for, I think, $25 or $30 a month. So basically, less than $1 a night. And you can drive as much as you want without using the supercharger at your home. So that's even more convenient than the supercharger, is just plugging in at home at night and charging and getting a full charge when you wake up. So for $30, you could have unlimited travel, drive as much as you want with FSD, and you know, it's just insanely cheap. who else can offer a product like that? Nobody else has the FSD. Other companies like Mobileye and Comma and others are trying to bring a similar product to market. GM is trying to do their Ultra Cruise with the Cadillac, whatever it's called, the $340,000 insanely expensive one. But nobody's actually brought it to market yet. Only Tesla has a product like that's on the market, and it's benefited quite a bit from being on the market for 3 years. You can see the level of performance it has. It's very good, right? And it got that way through a painstaking process of improvement and exposure to the real world and falling on its face and getting up and trying again with each new software update. And I think the others are going to have to go through that process as well. It's hard to just sort of get it perfect and handle everything that happens in the real world right off the bat. So that's the FSD. And then, of course, nobody else has a charging network like Tesla does. So other companies have offered, 3 years of free Electrify America and that sort of thing. You could do a partnership with Electrify America, but only Tesla owns the charging network, so that they can do that in an economical way without having to pay Electrify America up front. And of course, it's also really important that they control the charging network as the cars get more and more autonomous. They're going to be adding hardware to allow the car to go dock in and charge itself without you doing anything. Then the whole charging and range problem will be a moot discussion, because anytime your car needs to charge, it'll just go to the charging station and charge itself and just come back. You might not even notice it went. And then you just have the range to go wherever you want. So autonomy is going to be really important for EV adoption in that way too. All right, now we're entering Chestnut Street. This is going to be our grand finale here. So, in conclusion, EVs are awesome. Don't believe the FUD. Go get one. Go get a Tesla, especially. Probably one of the only good EVs, to be honest, all around. And it's got FSD, and right now no other car has that. And FSD is getting really good. It's getting really comfortable. So it's no wonder you hear so much BS these days. The competition is shitting their pants. And especially with the Cybertruck coming to market, I mean, all of the profits the American legacy automakers make are from big trucks and SUVs. And they've sort of retreated into that corner, even stopped making sedans as EVs become more and more popular, because, hey, at least we've got this corner that EV battery technology hasn't touched traditionally. But now the technology's there. The electric trucking revolution is here, and you're going to see many different models of electric truck on the market. So I'd be very worried if I were the American legacy automakers. They've been insulated from a lot of what Volkswagen and Toyota and others have been seeing, Tesla impacting their sales. But not for long. They're coming for their bread and butter. And I would be very nervous if I were them. You can tell they're very focused on Tesla. I mean, who is going to want to buy an F-150 or whatever the Ford truck is if Tesla has a self-driving truck? The world's first self-driving truck. I mean, if you work out of your truck all day, that is a game changer. It's going to change your life. And that's an understatement. It could even save your life. So you can see we navigated scenarios where there were a lot of people, a lot of bikes, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of cyclists, a lot of scooters, and the car with just computer vision is able to navigate all of this fairly well. You can see it's highlighting in blue what it's slowing for. And there's a motorcycle, there's a pedestrian there, there's cars coming, and it's navigating it all very, very smoothly. Now it looks like this guy's stopped, or maybe they're making a right turn. It's kind of hard to tell. This guy's going over the line. There's some pedestrians there, some people in the crosswalk, and it sees all of that. You can see all the people it's picking up, the stop sign, and even when I'm driving manually, it's running, making sure that everything's okay, acting as a second set of eyes. Okay, very good. Very smooth handling around that motorcyclist. So don't believe the EV FUD. Go try one for yourself. And then when you see how awesome it is, go buy one. EVs will save you time. They'll save you money. They'll make you happier. And they have advanced technology like this Tesla Vision AI that can drive your car for you under your supervision today, but possibly without supervision in the future, I believe. And it's going to change your life. So go get an EV. As you hear people screaming about how you shouldn't buy one, ask yourself, why are they getting so desperate and so upset that they have to push this anti-EV propaganda? Maybe they're afraid I'm going to try it and fall in love. And I'm pretty sure that you will. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.